Houday Nation, what's up? Jungle Theater here live on a Wednesday night. Steelers, Bengals, a whiteout coming Thursday night, Amazon Prime, 24 hours from now. Josh, you see him on the screen here. G making his return back in here. Josh, it's a must-win game. The Cincinnati
sorry for the
Bengals.
absence. Yeah. Sorry
No,
for
no,
the
no.
absence, everybody. That was a long time. I know. Had some personal stuff going on, so I had to take care of business here. But I'm back today. Been watching every game and reading everything I possibly can. So I'm ready. Let's rock and roll tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a must-win game. That's why I labeled it a must-win. Certainly,
Yeah.
Bengals are 2-4. Steelers leading the division at 4-1. And quite frankly, if the Bengals don't win, Steelers pretty much run away with the division. With the Ravens are kind of a mess right now with Lamar out, and the Browns are the Browns. So, at this point, it all comes down. It's kind of. I think I said it in the introduction. It's either game on for the Bengals or game over. And I think we talked about, Josh, of where we wanted this team to be when they get to the bye, and we can look forward. But I think it all comes down to Thursday night. If you win this game, it brings you a game closer to the Steelers. You're on your home field. We know how the Bengals have played in the past against the Steelers at Paycor. I mean, what do you see? What needs to happen for the Bengals, right? I mean,
right.
obviously things have
Well,
gone south.
let me
What needs to
rewind
happen
you.
tomorrow
Let
night?
me rewind you just a second, Jeff. So let's take us back to the Steelers. Okay. One, the Steelers aren't a good team. They never are when they squeak into the playoffs like this. This is one of those years where the Steelers squeak into the playoffs and then get blown out in the first game. I don't. I mean, I don't think there's many people that are going to disagree with me. If you look at their numbers, Aaron Rodgers is not having a great year. He's not. They're running the ball, and that's the difference between the Bengals and the Steelers right now is that they can run the ball and we cannot. We can't run to set up the pass. So it's almost backwards, right? It's almost like you have to set up the pass to set up the run. And the only way that you do that is make that secondary scared, and you have to test that secondary. You got to test them early, and you got to test them often. And we all know who the Steelers have. They've got great corners. They have a great defense. But Joe Flacco is going to be home for his second game, first time at Paycor. We have a whiteout. Everybody knows, Houday Nation. We all know that this is must-win time. So this is a game, Jeff, where if I could, I'd be there. I would be at that game. That's this important to me. This is like going to a playoff game. But I'm not saying that
I'm
they run
still
away.
considering it. If I can leave,
I think
yeah.
I kind of am too. And I hope Shannon's not watching this because then I'm in trouble. But cat's out of the box. So here's what I think. I think the Steelers, they're not a great team. They're a mediocre team. Tell me who they played, Jeff, in their last. Tell me who they played. Can you run through their schedule?
Yeah, their only losses to the Seahawks. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Jets. They beat the Browns. And the Patriots wins. Yeah.
Other than the Patriots win, I'm not.
I think the Patriots is a decent win.
Oh, I think so too. I think Drake May is good. I really do. But I think that the Steelers aren't. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they have not played a great team. They haven't played a good team besides the Patriots, in my opinion. And I think that we have. And we have through Jake Browning. So that was the toughest part of our schedule that we just got through. Once we get past the Steelers, we have what? Jets, Browns. What do we have?
Well, I mean, you think of it's Jets and Bears after this, right before the bye.
Jets and Bears,
yeah. The thing to
Jets,
think about
Bears,
here
and bye. So I mean,
but think about what we're talking about here. A month ago, we don't even know. I mean, about a month ago, right? Burrow, we didn't even know what his injury was going to be after that Jacksonville game, and a month later, here we are. And I think the Jake Browning experience, and I said this on Monday when I did a little 30 minutes on this, is it lasted a couple weeks too long, in my opinion. I think you saw what you needed to see against the Vikings, and that should have been it. But they didn't. Joe Flacco being the quarterback of the Bengals, I mean, never in my life would I think I'd say that. But here we are on October 15th, and that's the case. And so,
let alone through an interdivision
Yeah,
trade. That
yeah.
never happens, especially with us. I mean, that never, ever, ever happens. So
Tomlin's
I'm
pissed
excited. And
about it.
here's the thing, and I think I told, I was talking to my daughter, who's just as much of a Bengals fan as both of us are, and Victor is too, right? So, um, she she told me on Sunday, I'm excited. And I said, "You're excited?" And she said, "Yeah." I mean, I was about to puke because I thought, we're just gonna get blown out, and Joe Flacco's gonna get murdered, and here we are, we're gonna be talking about that right, today. And she said, "I'm excited." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "It's just something new to look forward to." So at this point in the season, this is through the eyes of a 14-year-old, or I'm sorry, a 13-year-old girl, um, who's just a diehard fan that says, I mean, at least it's something to watch, Dad. At least it's something new. And so we can't sit here and hate on Katie and Duke and in the front office too much about that. I mean, I know we have plenty more to talk about with them if we really wanted to get into it. But when it comes down to it, I think that they've made a smart decision. I think they took a veteran quarterback off of a team, somebody who's won a Super Bowl, somebody who has a great arm. I mean, he has a strong arm. There's no denying that. His accuracy is not Joe Burrow, but his velocity and the way he throws the ball, he's still got that zip on it.
Yeah.
And he did get some chemistry with number one, and now that opens it up to five. So to me, I think it was a good savvy move. And if they were trying to win 3 out of the 4 games or 2 out of the 4 games just to salvage that first half of the season, that was the smartest thing they could have done.
And like
I don't see
you
anybody else
say,
out there.
yeah,
Greta was like, "I can't believe it's Joe Flacco. I hate the Ravens." And, she remembers him from when he's on the Ravens. And I said, "Yeah, but honey, they don't grow on trees. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees where you can just like go and pluck a starting quarterback." I mean, the first call they made was Derek Carr, and that dude's on his couch.
yeah. I mean, clearly, and I think your daughter's got great perspective. Greta's got great perspective there of like, hey, it's something new, something fresh, something to look forward to, right? And we don't know how it's going to go, but I mean, like it's a Thursday night divisional game. Traditionally, those are
Oh, I'm pumped
ugly,
up too. Yeah.
and we've played ugly football, quite frankly, for the better part. And if you look at, it's kind of the way of the Bengals. If you think about, if you break it down, right? Let's take the 2 wins off the table because that was
Yep.
with Burrow and Browning kind of having the out of body experience in both ways and coming back and winning the game. But the Packers are a playoff team. The Lions are a playoff team, and they both whipped us. Like, let's be honest. The Vikings, I don't quite know what they are, but we got our doors blown off there. It was kind of one of those things. So I think like that's one of the things there is, what we're going to look at there in terms of, as we move forward. And Josh, I may have lost your audio there for just a second again. So I'm gonna mute you for just a second.
Can you hear me?
But now we go into this game, and Josh, try to say something there, and let's see if we get you back in here. We may
You
need to
got
get
me?
our producer in your studio. Yeah, we lost you there again, so I'm gonna mute you for just a second. If we want to call your producer back in there, we'll get you, and I'll go on a riff here for a bit. But so let's set the stage while Josh kind of works his way back into the fold here. Is Bengals are 2-4, got to win, right? Straight up, they got to win. The Steelers have kicked our ass for the last 25 years at Paycor. 5-22, the Bengals are in terms of the last 27 matches against the Steelers. Not great, certainly. Zac Taylor 5-7 against the Steelers all time, so not as bad as you would think there. And last time we played them, we beat them, and I think Mike Tomlin came out this week and said that he was pretty much, it was pretty clear he was upset about Joe Flacco being traded to the Bengals. So, just a lot, happening there. The Bengals have been through an absolute mess, right? And here they
Got
are,
me?
and there is some hope. And so I think like that's one of the things that we got to get through here, right? Is you either win tonight or tomorrow night, or the season's over. Let's be honest. You either win tomorrow night or the season's effectively over, and you got to start thinking about trading Trey Hendrickson, trading Logan Wilson potentially, all those types of things. So we're going to get Josh back in here in just a little bit. But as we kind of move on, you think about for Zac Taylor, and I talked about this the other day. This is an inflection point for that guy. I mean, his best friend just got fired in Tennessee as Callahan, right? And wouldn't be surprised if if he makes his way back into Paycor Stadium at some point with his dad, Bill Callahan, one of the best offensive line coaches in all of football. He's buddies with Zac Taylor. Like, we'll see how that all goes. But all that goes away if you don't win tomorrow night. If you don't win tomorrow night, all that goes away. You're 2-5. You're thinking about trading Trey Hendrickson and all those things. And it just really is something that is it's not a spot you want to
hear
be.
Me, Jeff.
Additionally, you can look at offensively, right? Think about the Bengals offensively. They're one of the worst in the league, and who's up behind them is the Tennessee Titans, right? Additionally, you look at the coaching tree of Zac Taylor, if you will, is Brian Callahan, right? He's gone, fired, right? And so all this coming in on Thursday night, it all comes to a head. You got your rival, Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin. Say what you want, the guy wins. He wins every single year. He's all in there, and it all comes down to this. Now, the crowd's going to be juiced. The crowd's going to be jacked up. You got, I think, tonight going on, Whitworth and Fitzpatrick are out in Covington and celebrating
right
and do all that.
On my shelf.
So I think that's one of the things that you got to look at is the crowd. They want that, like the Cincinnati fans. They want something to, like Josh was saying earlier. Greta, it's something to look forward to, right? It's something new. It's something exciting. I mean, imagine we're sitting there 24 hours from now and, Joe Flacco throws a 50-yard touchdown pass to Jamar Chase. The crowd's rocking. You're up 17-3, and people see some optimism. Conversely, you switch over. You go the other way. You're down 17-3. The offense can't move the ball. It doesn't look functional, and you go back to those things. So it's in terms of, what Josh said earlier is the intrigue of what exactly is going to happen there, is critical. So I think like that's one of the things that we want to look at. And we're fighting through some technical difficulties in the G household. But I don't think we can get him in here. But hey, this is what being live.
What the fuck?
This is what happens when you go live, right? Things like this can happen. So we talked about what all this means. I think it means the most for Zac Taylor. I talked about this the other day. Is if he doesn't win this football game, you've got a mini bye. Let's talk about the negative side of things. If he doesn't win the football game, you have a mini bye. You'd be 2-5. Katie Blackburn, Mike Brown. I don't think they'd fire somebody in season, but there is a possibility that could be. So I think like there's all these things that could be out there. We don't want that. We do not, as Bengals fans, like we're sitting here at 9:20 navigating audio issues, talking about Bengals Steelers on a Thursday night on Amazon. We don't want brown paper bags on the head. We don't want all the negative that comes with that. If you lose, you've got the next 9 days of Cincinnati sports radio just killing the Bengals and the organization and Zac Taylor and all the different things that could come with that. Conversely, if you can win, it gives your fans, it gives the Gretas of the world something to hope for. Hey, the Jets are coming to town. We can beat them. The Bears are coming to town. Yes, they had a win against the Commanders the other night, but we can beat them too, right? So I think like those are and then you get into a bye, and then who knows what happens from there with injuries, everything that can happen. So all the things that could happen, should happen, may happen, it's all in front of you, Cincinnati. It is all in front of you. It all comes down to Thursday night. That's why I labeled this. This is, you don't want to pull out the must win in week 7. It absolutely is. If you let the Pittsburgh Steelers go to 5-1, that puts the Bengals at 2-5, puts the Ravens at 1-5, it puts the Browns at 1-5 heading into a game on Sunday. The division is effectively over at that point, right? The odds are just very, very slim. Versus if you can go to 3-4, Steelers at 4-2, Lamar gets back with the Ravens, Who knows? It tightens it up. So you know the Ravens, you know the Browns fans, they're rooting for Cincinnati on Thursday night to come through and win this game. And how are they going to do it? You look at every offensive chart that's out there. And we haven't even got into the defense yet. But you look at every offensive chart that's out there. Bengals and Titans in the bottom left corner, not where you want to be on the YX axis, right? I'm no mathematician, but 31 and 32, when there's 32 teams in the league, not where you want to be, and the 32nd team's coach just got fired. So, I mean, Zac Taylor sitting around watching film tonight, drinking an IPA and probably thinking, man, if I don't win tomorrow, I might be able to join the Callahan family for fall break. I mean, it's really, where this could go, right? And nobody wants that. Now, the Bengals are loyal. We've talked about this. But in no world does Katie Blackburn and Mike Brown want to have to make that type of decision on Friday. Nobody wants to wake up Friday morning and hear Zac. I mean, honestly, like if he gets fired at the end of the year, but fine, like whatever. Like I think that still could happen. But nobody wants to get up Friday morning and say, the Bengals lost 27-10 to the Steelers on their home field. That's the end of the Zac Taylor era. And now we got to trade Trey Hendrickson. Now we got to trade off this piece, trade Logan Wilson. Maybe we're looking at trading other guys. Who knows? Is Burrow's not coming back? All these types of things. Just think about the next 27 hours of what could change. It's an inflection point. It's a tipping point of which way is this going to go? Is it going to go the way of, hey, there's still a glimmer of hope, and hey, even if they beat Pittsburgh, there's no guarantee they beat the Jets or the Bears or anybody else, right? There's a lot of things that could happen. But you know what? Wouldn't it be nice to wake up Friday morning, have your cup of coffee, you're heading into the weekend, fall is in the air, you get your pumpkin spice latte, your foam, whatever you want, and you're feeling great, and your team doesn't play for 9 more days, and the next time they take the field, it's at home because they just beat their biggest rival at home, and they met the moment. They stepped up. Flacco looked functional. Jamar had 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. T had a touchdown, 87 yards. Chase Brown, 57 yards on the ground. We were able to run it a little bit. And the defense. We need the defense to show up. If we look at the injury report today, Trey Hendrickson's questionable. Hasn't practiced. They didn't really practice this week because it's a short week. But Trey Hendrickson, I think I saw he's played in like 42 straight games, something like that. I have a hard time believing with everything on the line that Trey doesn't play. I think he's going to do everything he can to play. Then you got, 9-10 days off before you'd have to play again. So I think that there's an opportunity for sure. Andre Yosivas, can you catch a football tomorrow night? Those types of things. We got some in the chat. It says Bengals win 30-20. Purcell, I'll tell you, if the Bengals get 30 tomorrow night, they're winning. I will promise you that. Absolutely. I love that. So,
can you hear me?
We'll see where it goes. But
can you hear me, Jeff?
We got, Josh is dying to get in here to tell us something. He's dying to give us some audio.
Can you hear me?
Maybe we get him in here.
Hello.
But I know everything I just said, Josh believes too. He doesn't want to wake up Friday morning.
This is not
drinking his coffee and doing these things, right? He doesn't want any of that. We all want this to be a Bengals win. And it has to be, quite frankly. Like nobody wants that. I've talked to a couple friends and they're like, yeah, let's just go, 3-14, 2-15 and lose and all those types of things. So
can you hear me?
We'll see. But we got Josh in there. So Josh, go ahead. Let's get you on here.
Sweet, I'm back. Got me? Got me, Jeff?
My audience says they can hear you. They say they can hear you, Josh. I can't hear you, but you just keep going. Go ahead.
All right, I will. All right, I'll follow up with you. I missed the last about 2 minutes of what you were talking about, Jeff. I did hear Yosivas, who I talked about before the show. Yosivas doesn't drop those 3 passes, I think, Jeff, that's a lot closer game than what it ended up. I think that those were 3 crucial plays. 2 of them were on 3rd down, and you just can't drop those balls. And we had so much faith in Yosivas. I mean, we really did. You and I were just talking, that he was the slot. He was our slot receiver. We found him. They had good chemistry. And obviously Flacco hit him. I mean, Flacco found him wide open a couple times, but he's got to catch those balls, Jeff. And we can't pin it on him. You also have McPherson who nails 67-yarder and then, kicks a 67-yarder about 5 yards short. So I'm not saying anything about we would have won the game or anything like that, but I'm just pointing out that it's the penalties, it's the drops, it's the lack of a starting drive, right? I mean, we have a scripted starting drive that is 2 runs right off the bat, and that was it. Two running plays, and then we had a short pass. You just can't. We can't get that deep in the first half and get underneath the cinder block that early. What we have to do is we've got to start fast, like Zac has just been preaching to start fast, and we're going to work this into it. And I mean, he came out with the same Zac Taylor game plan that he had for Joe Burrow. And to be honest with you, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of watching. His offensive play calling is terrible. His clock management is terrible. He does not have a team ready for a football game to pick the ball up and snap it on down 1. He just doesn't.
And I think, and I'm back in.
And I don't
I can hear you. I can hear you now, Josh. So that's
all right. Good.
It's kind of like when, if you think about it, it's like when Zac Taylor and Joe Burrow couldn't be on the same page. They can't get on the same page in the headset. It's like what we were doing just now, and now we're back on the same page.
Yes, and you saw was healthy and he was playing. I mean, it had to happen 3 times, Jeff, where we were both, texting during the game, like, what the heck was that? It was off a timeout, or it was off of a timeout. And we're like, what? How do you have to call it out now to get your crap together? I mean, you've had so long. I don't get where that lack of starting a game comes from, and I don't know if it's lack of imagination, if it's just not being prepped for the game. I don't know if it's the players. I can speculate that it's Zac Taylor, right now. Do I know that for sure? No. But I have a pretty damn good idea because this thing happened with Burrow, and it's happened since Zac Taylor's been here. So
it's him.
I know that we've all talked about Zac. We've all talked about having Zac Taylor's head. What if Zac Taylor had an offensive coordinator and he gave up the offensive plays, even though he said he's not going to? I'm not going to give him up. What if he had an offensive coordinator, Jeff, and he was just the head coach? How would you feel about that?
Well, I'm going to go on a riff here. Hopefully you all can hear me. But this is a cavalcade. Josh, give me a nod if you can hear me. And we'll keep it rolling here. But I mean, it's Zac Taylor. It's 100% Zac Taylor. And, I picked up a little bit of what you said, and then hey, at the end of the day, it's 100% him. And I was saying, it's like, Burrow and Taylor couldn't get on the headset together week 1, and Burrow's cussing them out and all that stuff. It's kind of the way this podcast went tonight. That's kind of where we are. But I think one of the great things that they have an opportunity to do here, imagine this. Zac Taylor somehow turns this around. Imagine he turns it around. And I don't know that he will. I'm not convinced that he will, but we can hope, right, Josh?
Zac Taylor doesn't turn it around.
I have Josh might be frozen.
No.
So if my chat can give me a little bit of something here, we'll give it just a second.
This would be.
I'll have to clean this up for the podcast form for sure. But I appreciate you sticking with us.
It looks like there's two of me in here now.
Hey, that's the magic of live TV. Now there's only one of you.
You got me now, Jeff?
I got you.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on with this mic. I have no idea. But what I was saying when we got cut off there, the part that you didn't hear was I don't know. I don't understand if it's lack of creativity on Zach's part for a first drive, or if it's just not having the players ready for that first drive. I don't know what it is, but it's like I said, it's not any different when Joe Burrow was there than when Browning was playing, or now when Flacco is playing. So I mean, all signs point right to Zach on that. So my question to you was, what if Zac Taylor got an offensive coordinator and he was the head coach? How would you feel about that?
I mean, we've been talking about that for the last 7 years. Like,
Yeah, we have.
I want him to just coach the football team. Like, I go back. This is what Sirianni did that in Philadelphia. He was about to get fired, and he gave it up, and they won the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not saying that the Bengals have that type of roster, but my God, dude, like, how stubborn do you have to be to not see that you are the problem? This team's not prepared to play at the start of every single season you've ever coached, even the ones that ended in success. Like, they're not ready. So, like, to me, that's what it is. It's preparation. It's straight
they're
up.
not ready. But Jeff, did you see where we rank right now? Running the ball and defense. We're 30th and 28. 30th
I mean, I'm glad we're not
28.
32. I'm glad we're not 32.
Points for, we're 29th. Points against, we're 32.
I simply
so it's not just that. It's not just our offense. Our defense absolutely cannot tackle. The best player on the field to me, I'll give him this. He did miss a couple big tackles that he's got to make. He's young though. But how about Carter? I mean, the first, I don't know, maybe 3 drives that they had last week, he was in every play. I mean, he was all over the play. And that brings us to another question that I wanted to ask you too is what's up with 55?
He's benched. He looks like he's running in sweatpants out there. He's slow. I mean,
I mean, why? Why did Logan Wilson turn from being the Logan Wilson that has 5 picks and cover slot receivers to the Logan Wilson that has an undrafted? I mean, look who's starting for him, man. But he looked good too, and that was kind of exciting for me to see when they start throwing players in there, young players that you want to see what they can do, and they come in and they make an impact on the game. Joseph Ossai made a big impact on the game defensively. I'd love to see Miles Murphy in there a little bit more on passing downs. But Ossai, I mean, I thought Ossai played out of his mind. I thought Geno Stone had a great game. Cam Taylor-Britt, who has always been one of my favorites, he can hit the road.
I think
I think the Cam Taylor
well, think about this with Logan Wilson. Think about this with Logan Wilson. I truly do believe Taylor and Golden are trying to do everything they can do. They're throwing anything against the wall, they'll stick to see if it works. And they're thinking Carter has a little bit more speed.
Yep.
I think they're just this is literally like, hey, I'm making this soup and it sucks. So they're just throwing all kinds of spice into it and seeing if they can make it taste good. And it's probably not going to.
Well, I don't disagree with you. No, I don't disagree with you on that. But the other part is, again, it's the unknown, right? So that's the unknown is kind of exciting. When we have a set roster and we go through a season, of course we love it. And if we have stud defensive players and they're having great games and they're having a great season, we love that. It's been a while, but we love that. But this team, the only thing that you can really expect on Sunday is who's new. Who are they going to put in there, right? Mims went out.
Jamar Stewart
came in. Cody Ford did not play bad. Cody Ford did not have a bad game. Orlando Brown had a terrible game. I don't know what he was doing. But
Have we reached?
there was like two. It was almost two unevading for to the quarterback.
Listen to what you just said, Josh.
And evading to, yeah.
Cody Ford did not have a bad game. That's the point of the season that we've reached to where we're digging down to find success.
I know.
Cody Ford.
I know.
Who's been left for dead.
Well, I mean, we're left for dead. We are dead. We're dead right now.
We are pretty much, yeah.
Jeff, right now we are a rotting corpse, right? And we're hoping for the freaking for the resurrection. I mean, that's what we are. We're just sitting here hoping for something that is just a little glimmer of light. And I saw it in the second half of last week. Our defense looked terrible in the second half. They looked good in the first half. I thought they played well in the first half. Maybe give or take maybe 2-3 plays. But then in the second half, it's like they're gashing us for 8-9 yards. I mean, Josh Jacobs ate our face. Josh Jacobs. But Josh Jacobs has been having a good year. I can't take that away from him. But still, you're talking about Josh Jacobs. So we can't stop Josh Jacobs. How are we going to stop Derrick Henry? How are you going to what's your game plan there? How's Golden scheming?
Might be poignant. You said the resurrection. Maybe we died on Sunday. We come back on Thursday, and it is the resurrection of the Bengals on Thursday Night Football to go to 3-4. That's where we're at, is hoping for some sort of resurrection on Thursday night.
Let's talk briefly. Let's talk briefly about the future. All right. And I'm not talking too far in the future. Let's talk about right now. Okay. The right now future. So we're talking about the next 3 games. In your mind, and in every Bengals fan's mind, this is a must win. Even to me, and I'm always the optimist, but what do we have to do in your mind, walking into that bye to have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs? And for some crazy reason, Joe does his Joe thing where he's back earlier than he is, and he actually gets to play week 16, 17, rolling into the playoffs. What do we need to see happen before the bye in order to have a little bit of excitement going into the second half of the season, and then trying to roll from there, trying to play at wins? But this is a critical part of the season. So what do you want to see? What do you say this has to happen in the next 3 weeks in order for us to be successful this season?
Yeah. You got to start faster. You got to score on opening drives. You got to get turnovers. You think about the games they won. I mean, when Burrow was in, it wasn't like the offense was looking like world beaters. They were okay.
No.
Right? It wasn't even that. I mean, it was what? They scored, 18 in Cleveland and then 27, I think, or something against the Jags. Yep. So it really comes down to starting fast. Like, don't go down 10-0, 14-0. That's so hard to come back for in the NFL. So that's number one.
Especially when you're on the road.
Turnovers. Yes.
Especially when you're on the road. I mean, we've been on the road.
Here's what I'm asking them to do. I don't know if they can do this, but we talked about the next 3 games, but we saw Burrow on Instagram. He's playing with the healing rocks and all that stuff that people saw, right? They're 2-4. Can you be 7-7? Right? The next 3 games, quite frankly, when the schedule came out, we had them all as wins. Right now, obviously, a lot's changed, but those were all wins. This is at home. This is the game that truly, I think that on paper, you're not favored, but you can win. You should beat the Jets. You should beat the Bears at home. You should, right? Can you get what if you were 7-7 and it's a Christmas miracle, holiday season, Burrow comes running out, wins the last 3, 10-7, they go to Buffalo or Indy. I mean, I'll be there. I can promise you that. I got a place to stay in either city. So I'm down. That's what I need. There's your future.
Wherever you're staying is where I'm staying.
Yeah. So that's your future. Or here's your other future. 27 hours from now, you're dead. 2-5.
Well, let's talk about this, Jeff. So really, the way I see it and the way you've always talked to me is you got to win the division. Got to win the division, right? Right now, we have an anemic Baltimore defense and offense. I mean, they're terrible. I don't know what's going on there. But the Steelers beat the Jets week 1, 34-32. They beat them by 2. They lost to Seattle, 31-17. Seattle. Now,
Yep.
this is their win that I give them credit for. They beat the Patriots 21-14. Okay. And the Patriots, who knows what they are? I really don't know. I mean, it's too early to tell for me. The Vikings, they won 24-21. We're talking 4. That's week 4, right? Then they have their bye. They got an early bye on week 5. And then week 6, they pummel the Browns 23-9, which was a drubbing, even though the score doesn't show that. But then you're going to get into this part of the season where they play the Bengals, they play the Packers, they play the Colts, they play the Chargers, they play us again, they play the Bills, they play the Ravens, they play the Dolphins, they play the Lions. So and then they play the Ravens, by the way. But so what I'm saying to you is, yeah, you're right. So we have to win the division. You always tell me, and I always say, listen, we just need so and so to lose. And I agree with you when you say, Josh, you can't look at it that way. We got to win the division. Well, is the division winnable with this and with the schedule that we have remaining?
Well,
Now Thursday
everything you
night, I still put as a must win. I still put as a must win, and that's a lot of ifs. But I think all sport fans, live in the land of ifs. If this happens,
well,
if that happened, if it wouldn't have happened, right? We all live in that. Well, we're a hand or shitty hand of cards this season with Joe going down. We got to make the best of it, and I still do not think that there isn't a chance for us to win the division. And if we beat Pittsburgh and rattle off 2 wins before the bye, I'm in it. I'm 100% in.
Oh, and I'm with you. Everything you just laid out is if you wake up Friday morning with a win, everything you just laid out of what Pittsburgh's schedule looks like versus ours.
Yep.
And yes, I'm saying ours.
Yep.
I know I'm not on the team. This is Joe Burrow jersey, not a Jeff Sherman jersey. I get all that, but I am a Cincinnati Bengal in my mind. And we have to win this game. I want to wake up and have some hope.
If you don't get you don't have to apologize for saying we, because if you didn't say we, then we wouldn't be doing this show. That's how much we love the Bengals. And I had to calm Jeff down a little bit on Sunday. He was getting a little irritated and talking about some different teams. And at the very end of our conversation, I said, you can't do that. So you're either Bengal fan or not. We're all, anybody that's watching this, you're Houday Nation. We've endured much worse than this. We have.
I know. But it could end up being really bad.
We're looking at right now. Browning's still at the helm. I mean, if Jake Browning's still out and they think to address the issue, and they hadn't done anything that looked like he had gotten better, or there weren't any kind of signs that the offense was starting to click, you're right. They gave him a week too long, 2 weeks too long. You saw you said somebody. Well, we didn't, but we did get Flacco, and I honestly think if he has to win those games, if you have to go Flacco with the team he has behind him and the offensive line he has in front of him has to win those games, I would say the quarterbacks that are available, which are none, and you're in a trade that you basically traded a 6th-round pick for a 5th-round pick, which I could really care. I think that's a great move. I told you when we saw it come across, I love it. I do. I love it because you got a vet presence. Guy can read a line. They'll not be as long as it would be if you pulled second-year player off the street. He's smart, incredibly smart. And I think he absolutely can do it. I think that he can keep the boat afloat until Joe gets back. Now, there was a quote that he made that said, and I think I sent it to you, that I'm not here to just keep the Bengals afloat. I'm a quarterback and I'm going to win games. And I love that. I love that he's talking about, I'm coming in and yeah, I am filling in for Joe, but I'm not waiting for Joe. I'm going to go out and win games. And that's the attitude and mentality that I like to hear, that gets me excited, that allows me to have that glimmer of hope that um that we can pull it off. And I do think we can. I really do. I honestly do. And I think that this is a totally different conversation, and we aren't as nervous and we aren't, as speculative as we are right now if we just beat the Steelers. But the question that I'm going to pose to you now is, what do we have to do to beat the Steelers?
Don't turn it over and turn them over. That's it. I'm dead serious. Like,
All
don't
right.
turn it over and turn them over. Win the turnover battle, and you'll win. Their offense is not that potent. They're good, right? Their defense, they turn you over. Don't make mistakes. Stay on schedule. That's as long as and short as I can put it. Like, Flacco's not going to take a bunch of sacks. He's going to get rid of the ball. He's going to throw. He doesn't care about his completion percentage.
We saw that on Sunday.
He's good.
I mean, he was just throwing the ball away instead of taking that sack. And we love Joe Burrow and are all obsessed with him. But let's be honest, there's some times that we have said, Joe, throw the ball away. Throw the ball away. Play the next down. Why are you taking that sack, right? Or I mean, Joe Flacco took one sack on Sunday. And was that the offensive line playing better, or was that Joe Flacco just getting rid of the ball quicker? I don't know. I don't know the difference.
Look at the stat. Under 2.5 seconds. He was 21 to 25 when he got out under 2.5 seconds. Shout out to Paul Dehner Jr. for that one. So, like, just get rid of, like, it really is that simple. You're at home. Pro Bengal crowd. Don't turn it over. And yes, we didn't win the turnover battle at Green Bay, but think about where we were. You make one tackle, you get the ball back with a chance to win the game. It will. I mean, people can say what they want about the Bengals. They were right there. If they get Jordan Love on the ground, they get the ball back
tackle.
With a chance to win.
It came down to make a tackle or catch one of those 3 balls, in my opinion.
Yossi Bosch. Oh, God. Yeah, I know. When we were having issues, we probably got into him a little bit. And I don't even get me started on him but honestly, it comes down to that. It's that simple. And, I think if Trey Hendrickson doesn't play, it really puts us behind. But I'm glad to see Shamar Stewart's back. I'd love to see him make a play. Like, that guy's got to hit. Like, he's got to be a guy. This organization needs him to be a dude. He has to.
When we saw him practicing, before the season started, we both looked at each other and said, wow. I mean, he was flashing.
Yeah.
So he was injured. I don't know if he was playing injured. He could have been. And now he's back. So now it's time to put your money where your mouth is, Shamar, right? I mean, you held out, all that crap that we talked about before, where I was talking about character and the way that it fit in with the locker room. And I'm not a huge Shamar Stewart fan. I will be, but show me. It's time to put up or shut up, Shamar. I mean, you're either going to be him or you're not. And in your rookie season, you still have to put the pressure on the quarterback. You still have to get around. You still have to make sacks. You still have to stop the run, for Christ's sake. Somebody stop the run. I mean, the best player on our defensive line, to be honest with you, it was Slayton. I mean, I can say that without even blinking. I watched it. He was the best player on the defensive line. Now think about that. The talent that's on that defensive line, or supposed to be on that defensive line, it isn't there. And Trey, for all the negative things I've said about Trey, I still am not a fan of Trey. Just because I don't like the way he went around his business. And I know that that's a business decision and that's all that kind of stuff. But to me, as a fan, I don't appreciate that. I feel like it's disrespectful. I felt like it was disrespectful. I told you that. But here we are, Trey's hurt. So now what? And it wasn't like Trey made a huge impact on the game last week before he went out. Did you see something I didn't? Because I did not see.
I think our defense was worse after he got hurt. I do think.
Oh,
he does.
absolutely. I'm not saying
So,
it's better without
I
Trey.
mean,
I'm saying,
I
did you
want
see
him
Trey?
out there tomorrow night. If we're trying to win a football game, I
Everybody
need him
does.
out there.
We
Yeah.
all do. We all want him out there tomorrow night. No doubt about that. But what I'm saying is, without him, or with him, I'm sorry, with him, I mean, I didn't feel better about the defense. I wasn't like, wow, he's making a huge impact on the defense. He wasn't pressuring the quarterback.
And they stunk last
Um,
year when he had a record year. He was almost defensive player of the year, and the defense stunk.
absolutely.
Here's what I want to see happen is, thanks to everybody for staying in here with us as we were kind of navigating our back and forth
Yeah,
issues.
sorry about that, guys.
No, some of it's me and you both I think we shared some of that. But what I will say is, if we get the ball, take it tomorrow night and go down and score an effing touchdown right off the rip. And that place, if there was a roof on it, it would come off.
Well,
take the ball,
take
go
more
score.
snaps from the shotgun too. Take more snaps
Just
from the
go
shotgun.
score.
Run some delays. I mean, yeah, I know, but Joe Flacco is that guy, like you said. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick. The times where, in the first half, obviously his numbers were horrible in the first half. But he was under pressure almost every down, and that was because he was staying in that pocket under center. And I'd like to see him go more shotgun, and I'd like to see, if I swear to God, Jeff, if I see 2 back-to-back runs, I'm turning the damn TV off.
Well,
I'm
play
not
action.
joking.
Nobody the play action that they've tried to run, like who you kidding? We're one of the worst, if not the worst, running football teams. Like nobody respects the play action. So just don't do it. Go 11 personnel and open it up.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say, Jeff, because that's our makeup. That's our team is not made to run the ball 30 times a game. Our team is made to be a passing and attacking offense. That we have the weapons. I mean, when he got it to 1, when he started getting it to 1, I mean, the whole game changed. The whole second half changed. They couldn't cover him. And then of course you saw the jawing back and forth between him and oh gosh, help me out here.
The corner. I don't remember but what
that
I'll
corner,
say is,
right?
Like, we didn't pay Chase and Higgins to have freaking Drew Sample and Cam Grandy on the field tomorrow night. Put the dudes out there. And you know what? For the love of God, if I see Charlie Jones active tomorrow night, I'm going to lose. He's already hurt. I don't care if Burton's an ass. I don't care if Burton's an asshole.
Can you tell me why is he returning kicks? Can you tell me why he's returning kicks?
I don't
understand it.
I don't get it, but I'm just like, if you're Zac Taylor and you're coaching for your job and Jermaine Burton's healthy, and I get it, he's been an ass to deal with, and we're not there. But if I'm throwing everything out, I'm not going down with Charlie Jones.
No.
I'm not going down like that. I'm going to put 81 out there and say, go run down there and see if you can catch one. And if you do,
listen,
we'll do it again next week.
I'm in 100% agreement. Yeah, 100% agreement. It's the same thing when they had like P. Ryan returning kicks. I'm like, I didn't understand it. Like P. Ryan's not going to bust one and go 80 yards for a touchdown. I mean, he's not that fast. He's not that guy, but he's sure-handed. I mean, I know that, but it doesn't make sense.
Here's what I want to see. No 12 personnel. No Drew Sample.
Yep.
Put Fant in at tight end. 3 wide receivers. That's what I want to see. Chase.
Who's your third?
Higgins. I mean, I can't trust 80. I can't. You can't drop the ball 3 times.
Not until
put Burton in and send his ass down on a streak and see if you can catch one. Why not?
But can you really do that? Can you put Burton in? You put Burton in right now? Because the guy doesn't come to. Because he doesn't come to.
No, this is literally a kitchen sink game. I know. Like, if I was Zac Taylor,
I agree with you.
I would say,
I agree with you.
You're an asshole, but I don't want to get fired. So I'm putting you out there, and if you catch a touchdown pass, you'll play next week. If you don't, you're done. Or
$20. Now, hang on.
He'll be inactive. He'll be inactive. He'll be in 12, 13 personnel.
A ticket to any game in Cincinnati says that he is inactive on Thursday.
He'll be inactive. Cam Grandy will be up, and we'll be in freaking 13 personnel in the opening drive with 3 effing tight ends in there. Fant and Grandy and freaking Sample, and we'll run play action, and Flacco's going to get smoked. That's what Zac Taylor will do. That can't happen. But I'm telling you, he might.
See, now if that happens, that's when I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb for Jeff. because
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it like off tomorrow. I'm gonna change my ways, but get tight ends that can't move off the field. You're not trying to protect Joe Burrow anymore.
no.
If Flacco goes down tomorrow night, who gives a shit? Like,
And
I don't want
Gesicki's
anybody to get
down.
hurt, but it's not.
Gesicki's down for how
Gesicki's
long, Jeff?
down.
What would you say?
Oh, he's at least 4 games for sure. They put him on
I thought
IR
so
today.
too.
So, but
Yeah,
usually that's like a torn pec. It's probably like a season ender would be my guess. But
I think so too.
I just like open it up. Give the people what they want. They want to see Burton. If Burton goes out there and costs you the game, then nobody ever has to hear it again. But you're not winning the game. You're not winning with Charlie Jones. He didn't have a catch this year.
No, but you know what? A good point to be made there is that the Bengals did go out and get Noah Fant. Now, who would have thought that Gesicki would be down out for the year? I mean, we're assuming that at this time, right? We're not positive, but who would have thought that Gesicki's out and Noah Fant is our starting tight end? So now Noah Fant's starting to get some balls. He did get balls. He did get balls. But I'll take that. I'll take Noah Fant as my tight end. I'll put him out there. But why Grandy and why Sample and like why are? And here's the other thing, Jeff. Let me ask you this: how many times have you seen the Bengals try the same wide receiver screen, that quick, just behind the line screen where we've been dropped for -2 yards? How many times have you seen Jamar run in that end around and get stuffed for -2 yards? Why are we throwing the ball behind the line? Why are we throwing the ball?
So, Zac Taylor, this is 7th season. So every first half of the season for the last 7 years, we see it at least once or twice a game until something clicks and they're like, oh shit, maybe we should try something else because this sucks. And they throw the game plan in the trash and then they win 8 in a row. Or Jake Browning, God forbid, goes 4-3 somehow. So it's within you to do this.
Yeah, but we're changing. This is what he does. He changes the identity of the team based on who he has. That you can't do that. How many players are on the field, right? And then you've got a quarterback, okay? How many times is he going to go out there with a game plan that is vanilla, like a preseason opening drive, and then you get your starters off the field? Because that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of just preseason football. God, we suck. We look horrible, but it's preseason.
He does it again tomorrow night.
There, man.
He's done.
Exactly.
You do that tomorrow night, then you're done. You're done.
I think this is my bold prediction of our show here today.
Oh boy.
If he loses tomorrow, and if he gets blown out, especially, Zac Taylor is fired in season. First time that I can ever remember a coach being fired in season from Cincinnati. I'm calling that right now.
Trivia question. I do know when the last time it happened. Can you
when was it?
Think about
Bruce Kozlet?
He quit. Kozlet quit on his own.
That's true. He quit.
Shula, game 7.
That was my second guess. That's not bad.
Yeah. Well, hell, we've only had a few coaches because we hang on to them for too long. But
well, yeah, I mean, 15 years.
Game 7 was fired. What is tomorrow?
Yeah, I know.
It's game 7.
I know.
I'm just saying.
And I think there's nothing else that was more telling than the week before when Zac Taylor came out and said, put this one on me. This is me. I don't have the guys ready. Blah 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 blah. That wasn't that was lip service. That's him trying to say, don't fire me. We're all trying. He's trying to cover his butt. Listen, yeah, I'm putting it on me. I'm taking the blame. Look at me. But Zach, the clock's ticking.
Well, think about this, Josh. Zac Taylor is his contract's up after next season.
Yes.
So what typically happens with any coach? You either have to extend or you fire. You never. Yep. I think we went into the lame duck with Marvin Lewis, and how did that work out? So it was a disaster.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, but this is like repeat. This is the same thing as the Marvin Lewis days. It's almost like they're the same coach.
Well, I will give this. Sure, I mean, surely we can't all be nuts. Every Bengals podcast I listen to is saying pretty much the same exact stuff we're saying. Like he has to see that. So it's it's either now, is he getting some vote of confidence from ownership that he's like, I'm going to stick to my. I mean, Zac Taylor's worried about culture when he's about to get fired. Like that is the ultimate like tone deaf dude of worried about Jermaine.
Who creates the culture?
The culture's
you're the
out
head
window
coach.
now. It's
You're
done.
exactly.
Look at
Screw
Logan
the
Wilson's
culture.
interview. You think he gives a shit about Zac Taylor right now? No.
I don't think that half.
Well, Zac doesn't think so, and looks off like we all know.
Yep.
Like going back to
and
the
that's
top
the state of their locker room right now. But like I said, hopefully Joe Flacco was a spark. I know they said that it kind of ignited them in the building, but then they went out and they laid a deuce in freaking the first half. I mean, it's just that can't happen, man. That just
if
cannot
it happens tomorrow,
happen.
then
You can't score 3 points in the first half. Yeah, at home with the crowd with the white out, and you're going to see a lot of terrible towels there too with people from Pittsburgh. That's fine, but I need to see a lot of white. I need to see a really loud crowd, a really crazy crowd, and I don't think that the Steelers can beat us. I don't. I really don't. No, I don't. I don't believe they can beat us. If we don't beat ourselves, they're not beating us.
Wow.
If we don't beat ourselves, the penalties, right? The penalties were a big issue too. I mean, that was undisciplined football. The penalties killed us. The play calling killed us. If we go out there and we are in a shotgun formation the first snap and it's a fake handoff or he drops back and he's throwing a deep ball or a slant or something, that's what I was waiting for on the first play of last game. Last game, I wanted him to I wanted a snap and a go route. That's what I wanted. I wanted to just see. Just see. Why not? What the hell did we have to lose at that point? First play of the game, go deep. And I mean, I know we all say that, and it's supposed to be so easy, but you have 1 in 5 on the field in 30. So why the hell are you not using them? Because we're not. T. Higgins is on pace for 444 yards and 4 touchdowns. How much do we pay T? What has T done in the past? He's on pace for under 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is insanity. Insanity.
It's not good. And
I will give him this. There was a play that could have changed the game too, where the ball hit T in the hands. He's a guy that goes up and gets a ball, and it did hit him in the hands, and he dropped it, and that's okay, that happens. But at the same time, how many targets did he have? 4, I think. So
it didn't hit him in the face mask like Yosivas.
No. Here's something that our viewers do not know. When Yosivas was drafted, I told Jeff that Yosivas was going to be a player. I said, Yosivas is going to be that guy. He is going to be a player. And up to this point, up to last week, Yosivas has been a player. Yeah, he has. He's added a lot to the offense. He has. He's made big catches. He's made good plays. And I know Jeff, you can already tell he's a hater on him. But last game, unacceptable. Unacceptable. But it was on many fronts. You can't pin it on Yoshi. You can't pin it on Zach. You can't pin it on Cam Taylor-Britt. I mean, if we want to pin it, you got to pin it on the whole team, buddy.
Hit him right in the hands 3 times, and he dropped it.
3 times. But look at our offensive line. Look at it, which I thought, honestly, Jeff, the question was is the offensive line just look better because Joe Flacco got the ball out of his hands so much quicker than what Burrow does? We don't know.
Well, it's definitely more than Jake Browning, but Dalton Reisner has a 0 pressure game, and we're going to bench his ass. I mean, like, what are we in the twilight zone, Zach? I'm dead serious. Like, what are we looking at? Like, you can't tell me Zac Taylor, like I get it. Like, everybody's like, oh, we try to keep the noise out. We try to keep it like, go back and look at all the guys Joe Goodberry said to draft, and we didn't draft a fucking one of them. Pardon my French. Not a one. And every single, probably 95% are studs. Draft this guy, draft this guy. This is how he came out on our chart. Boom, boom, boom. Like literally 95% hit rate. And it's like, at what point, and that's not on Zac Taylor necessarily, although I do remember him pounding the table for Jermaine Burton. This is me going off right now, but I'm saying it doesn't have anything to do with Yossi Bosch or anybody like that. But we cannot allow the people that got us into this mess to get us out. You can't allow Duke Tobin and Zac Taylor to get you out of this mess, and we know that's what's going to happen.
Well, you got to hope that you get some magic from Joe. Not smoking Joe, the other Joe.
Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow, Joe whatever. We've done this for an hour, Josh. I say we call it. But
yeah, no, I'm so glad to be back on.
Hanging in there
with us.
I'll figure out a way if I can get this audio, or I don't know, or if we can cut this up into a podcast form. But it was fun to do.
Yeah, it was good to see you, man.
And
Who Dey Nation, let's go. Let's be loud and proud. If you're going to the game, on top.
I can't hear you now again. It tells us it's probably time for us to call it a night. But hopefully you all can hear me. Who Dey, let's go get a win. We heard it. Thanks, Josh. We'll talk to you later.